I hate to bring this up, but there is quite a bit of time before we're going to get to see some Chiefs football again. The bye week will last forever long, and we have Nick Jacobs to thank for these snap counts from the Week 18 game against the Denver Broncos. I have some notes on the offense that I want to talk about in this video. I will be back probably tomorrow with some notes on the defense. But there are some things that we can take from this. Look, this is really, this game against the Broncos is really a gift, right? It can be boring. Maybe it was a 38-0 drubbing, but we got a snapshot at a whole lot of guys that we haven't gotten to see play since the preseason. And even then, some of these guys we didn't see very much of. So the Chiefs being so good gave us a Christmas present in early January, and it is going to be one of these things that also allows the scouting department to look internally and understand some of the things that they do and do not have to address this coming season. There's one position in particular that I think was probably going to be the where the Kansas City Chiefs spent at least one draft pick that I don't think it will be now. So here's where I want to start. These are the snap counts, right, from that Week 18 game. Justin Watson played 33 snaps. Juju Smith-Schuster played 32 snaps. Nico Remigio played 31 snaps. All three of those guys are in the same neighborhood. It is my opinion. All three of those guys are competing for probably 2 roster spots next season. Nico Remigio looked the best out of this entire game, but we don't know what the assignments were. We don't know if Watson and Juju were going out there basically to play decoy. We don't know if they were going out there basically to not get hurt before the playoffs. We don't know any of that. We know that there had to be guys on the field, and those were the guys who were on the field. So whether or not Nico was featured in this game, we might not ever know. But I think he did a good enough job that the Chiefs do not have to bring back both Juju Smith-Schuster and Justin Watson next season. The next guy I want to look at here, the lone offensive player to play every snap, Wanya Morris. And I believe he played all of his snaps at tackle. The Chiefs are absolutely giving him the opportunity to work on things. They are going to allow Wanya Morris to fail out of being an offensive tackle. That's one of the things that I look like Wolverine. What is going on here? Look at it go. Anyway, I talked about this with, I think it was Kingsley Suamataia, that the Kansas City Chiefs would offer him the chance to fail out of being a tackle because he's a good enough athlete that you're going to find some place for him. Maybe that has already happened with Kingsley Suamataia. I don't think so, and I'll talk a little bit about why I don't think so in a moment. But Wanya Morris is getting extended looks at offensive tackle, and I think that makes a lot of sense. The Chiefs are in a bind with Jawan Taylor at the tackle position. He costs a lot of money. But I don't think that they are going to be beholden to his contract. I think that if next season the Kansas City Chiefs open up the competition at that right tackle position and it is Wanya Morris that wins it, he will be the right tackle. And guys, I think he might be the right tackle. Jawan Taylor's absolutely more athletic than Wanya Morris. He doesn't have the hammer that Wanya Morris does. He's seemingly, Wanya Morris has committed his number of penalties as well, but he's seemingly less penalty prone than is Jawaan Taylor. Jawaan Taylor, one of the most penalized players in the league, or was it the most? I can't remember. But an absolutely ridiculous thing to happen. Like I said yesterday, guys, all of those penalties, and none of them were even aggressive. All those penalties, and he never slapped anybody. He didn't headbutt anybody. He wasn't ripping anybody's helmet off. It was just jumping. That was what he was penalized for. How lame is that? Moving on to the next guy here. Kingsley at guard. Kingsley Suamataia, where are we at here? 31 reps. Ended up playing just 195 snaps this entire season. That's a disappointment. He looks strong at guard. He looks mobile at guard. It is the awareness that is holding him down at this point. But here's a point that's worth making. It was the game against the Bengals that got him benched. Trey Hendrickson beat him up for 2 sacks. Trey Hendrickson beat up Orlando Brown Jr. for 3 sacks just a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was last week, I can't remember. Trey Hendrickson ended the season, or not Orlando Brown Jr., whoever the Steelers tackle is. He beat up the Steelers tackle for 3 sacks. Trey Hendrickson ended the season with 14 sacks. There are a lot of offensive tackles in the NFL that looked very bad against Trey Hendrickson this season. This might have been the best season of Trey Hendrickson's career. Did that destroy his confidence? Probably. Did we never see a Kingsley Suamataia who looked like a starter at tackle again during the course of this season? That is true. We did not see that guy again. But I think that guy is in there. I really do think that guy is in there. I think that he has the potential to be a starting tackle in the NFL. I hope they have not already given up the ghost on him playing at offensive tackle. Ethan Driscoll got just 4 snaps. But guys, undrafted rookie offensive tackle out of Marshall, no one expected him to get 4 snaps this season. The fact that he got those was great. He even got to run a receiving route. That was interesting. His feet are better than I thought. Maybe his future is at offensive tackle. Maybe even at offensive tackle eligible. I think that the Chiefs, if the Chiefs can find an offensive tackle for the depth chart as a UDFA, that sets you light years ahead of what it is you're trying to do on the offensive line. Again, look at what happened with Mike Caliendo. Mike Caliendo came in as a UDFA out of Western Michigan, kind of redshirted for a year, ended up replacing Nick Allegretti. Now he's your starting left guard, as your starting left guard became a starting left tackle. And he looks pretty good out there. So if you can get that same type of translation to the offensive tackle position, it is worlds above where the Chiefs are right now. The more I watch, the more I go back and watch C.J. Hansen, the more I like his chances at becoming a player in the NFL. He, like I said, he didn't look good, but he didn't look bad. I think that the 31 snaps that he played, I believe, are absolutely, 31 snaps, are absolutely going to pay dividends for him this coming season, because now you have something to go off of that you did not before. Now you have actual game tape against an NFL playoff level defense, and you get to say, this is what you are good at, this is what you need to improve. That is much better than had he not gotten on the field at all. That is one of the gifts that the Kansas City Chiefs being so good has bequeathed upon us. Number 6, I don't see quote-unquote it from Hunter Nourzad, but maybe that's a good thing. For all of the glitz and glamour of Trey Smith, for all of the plays where it looks like he may have killed someone, for all of the plays that earn him the nickname Brick from me because Brick killed a guy, sometimes he misses stuff he's not supposed to. Sometimes he's too aggressive. And maybe the Kansas City Chiefs just need somebody that's going to... Look, you're never going to replace Trey Smith. Trey Smith is an absolute legend, in my book. But the ability to be on the field, not be to be good enough to stay on the field might be all the Chiefs need. And if it's not, CJ Hansen has some more athletic ability than Hunter Nourzad, in my opinion. But I think Hunter Nourzad will be fine. Carson Steele. Carson Steele ended the season with 201 snaps and 209 yards of offense. It's not a bad combo. He had 183 rushing yards and 226 receiving yards. So this is another place where the Chiefs have been trying to find running backs for a long time. And to get one as a UDFA, even he's not a great running back. But if you think back to the first Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes, I think he would have fit in on that roster admirably. So there's something to be said for that. That is a floor to the running back room, and I think he has more upside than Chiefs fullbacks traditionally have had. Sausage was great at what he did, but I don't think there was a lot of upside there. Number 8, this is the position I was talking about. Peyton Hendershot, 28 snaps. I think Peyton Hendershot is back next season. Peyton Hendershot, Jared Wiley, Travis Kelce, Noah Gray. I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs will have to spend any draft capital at tight end. I think probably they were going to, because they have tried so hard to get that fourth tight end figured out. So I think that they were going to almost absolutely spend draft capital at the tight end position. If you have those 4 guys now, assuming Jared Wiley is able to come back in time for the season, you don't have to do that. You don't have to pick up all the weird names that they've been parading through Kansas City. You don't have to trade for anyone like they traded for Hendershot, and you don't have to sign a big name as a free agent. If the right guy falls to you, maybe you take him in preparation for the inevitable with Travis Kelce, but you don't have to do that. Next, here's something to watch going forward. Noah Gray. Noah Gray played only 4 snaps, and you might think, well, so what? Who cares? The list of guys that played 4 snaps or fewer are kind of the same list of guys that the Kansas City Chiefs absolutely need in the playoffs. Xavier Worthy played 1. The offensive line guys played 3 or 4. I think that what's going on with Noah Gray is he is going to be featured prevalently in the postseason. If you think back to the early season, Noah Gray played a much bigger role in the offense. He had a couple games where he was blanked, but he was on the field a lot and targeted a lot and targeted more downfield a lot. And it felt like some of that went away as the season went on. I do not think that is by chance. I think that's by design. I think that Noah Gray, so one of the things that you hear oftentimes when you're listening to NFL coaches talk is that they look back at the last 3 or 5 games against an opponent. So heading into the playoffs, the last 3 or 5 games does not get you to those big Noah Gray games. Noah Gray, they wheeled him out. He had the biggest season of his career. He started having a big season, and they said, okay, well, maybe let's put the brakes on a little bit because this is going to be important for the postseason. This is going to be important when the games mean something. I believe that. Maybe you don't. I get guff about that all the time, saying that the Chiefs save things for the playoffs. I think if you're Kansas City, that's just where your season begins. You cannot convince me otherwise at this point. Anyway, guys, that's what I have for this video. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out as it tells YouTube to share this video with other Kansas City Chiefs fans. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, the Chiefs are the only thing I talk about on the channel, dropping multiple videos every single week, and I hope to have you back for the next one.